All right, and welcome to Ettin Games and Hobbies. This is our regular Sunday 2 o'clock tournament. I'm here with Grant,
Hey guys.
and we're gonna get some Empire War Games in for you guys. Our first match right now, we have Shelby Thompson, who is going up against Vincent Mitchell, and Shelby's actually playing a pretty interesting deck, Elite Hera with Elite Lando Calrissian. What do you think about this pairing Hera with Lando as opposed to Maz and the Rebel Trooper?
I think it has some interesting potential because of the extra resource start, because you could drop a quad jumper first thing, and then maybe you get the special out and then you can discard it and then put down something even bigger turn one. You
I mean,
get
that's
a U-wing black one easily turn one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing that Lando brings to the table. Not just the extra resource that you start with, but he also has basically a 2 resource side on his die with that 3-for-1.
Yeah.
Which I still don't really understand, like why
put a condition on it?
Right, but I mean they are introducing interesting new cards with that have an effect on the resource cost that maybe you don't have to pay it, or like actually one of the things I thought about before the set was released was running Lando with Rebel War Room to be able to just get $3 straight up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to suggest. One thing I think that they did the 3-for-1 for is to drop his point cost instead of keeping him at 17. Because if you don't have that 3-for-1 on there, it's going to jump his point cost to Thrawn level.
Right. I mean, I think it's already too high.
It is.
When you consider Unkar Plut is 13 and he makes tons and tons of resources.
Yeah.
And Lando's other die sides don't bring a whole lot to the table. He does have a focus, which is nice, but the 1 damage is not great. I mean,
I would almost rather that damage be a disrupt.
Yeah, I think I honestly would too.
I think he needed to be in that 10 to 13 range. 10 single die, basically exactly the hero version of Plut, just
right.
Money making.
Yeah, I mean, just when you factor in that Plut's ability is reusable just to make a ton of money, and Lando just gets that 1 extra dollar at the beginning of the game, feels bad. But that's nothing new. We've had to deal with that since the beginning of time, or the beginning of Destiny at the very least, as these underpowered heroes.
One day FFG will figure it out.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Maybe.
maybe they'll have moved on from Destiny by that time.
Nah. Destiny's got some staying power for sure. Players getting set up here, just cutting each other's decks, getting ready to go.
So we have the other deck list for some of the other players. What do you think looks like the most promising competitive deck that we have today?
eVader New Phasma.
Yeah, Elite Vader New Phasma does an insane amount of damage.
Yeah.
I was testing on Tabletop Simulator a couple days ago with Elite Ahsoka, Elite Kanan, and he killed Kanan in turn 1. He rolled out Vader, got 2 specials, and rolled out Phasma, got another special and something, and then he just claimed and did Phasma's other special for 12 damage. I couldn't do anything about.
Yeah.
But all right, looks like our players are getting shuffled up, so we'll switch over to our featured table. So what do you expect to see out of this? Oh, he's running Awakenings Vader.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. So I imagine we're going to see some leadership plays going on, possibly Price of Failure. And Shelby doesn't have access to Coercion like the yellow villain decks, so those plays could come up really big.
I think it all depends on how he's running that Phasma. Is he running the bodycard suite? Is he running the holocron suite? Is she just a distraction and a buff for Vader, or is Vader a bait?
Yeah, because I know when you started building originally, you would just try to build up Phasma with force powers, using the holocron, using her focus.
Yep, and then anything that you generate money-wise, because the deck generates a lot of money for villains. I mean, Vader is not used to doing that, so being able to just pay for force power flat out for him if he's still in okay shape is never bad either.
Yeah, Vader getting access to logistics in this set. I mean, you could already pair him with the Stormtrooper, but being able to pair him with a Phasma or a Magna Guard and getting access to that logistics, that extra dollar does a lot for Vader. It's an extra lightsaber throw. It's an extra force strike.
My favorite thing to do is just combo the Enrage into Logistics and put out something like a Z6 right turn 1.
Yeah, Z6 on Vader is really, really scary. The potential for 9 damage.
Yeah.
So...
Looks like they're taking Vincent's battlefield here.
So Vincent is running the Imperial Armory, I believe. Which is interesting. You don't see it very much. A lot of people have switched to these really, really innocuous battlefields. Mos Eisley was the favorite for a while, and now it's beginning to become Secret Facility. Everybody's afraid to bring a battlefield that their opponent will be able to abuse.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I put Maz Castle in almost all of my decks, just because there's no point in putting anything that's going to get used against me if I think I might play slow.
See, even that one feels bad to me. Like, I don't want my opponent to filter through their deck and draw more cards.
That's true.
So Vincent rolling in immediately with Vader, putting the pressure on Shelby's hand. He is forced to discard, and decides to discard a new card from the 2-player set. I Have You Now, which is basically like a use the force for damage.
Yep.
It lets you turn any die to a side throwing damage. And I believe it doesn't have to be your dice either. So you could, turn that Ion Disruptor rifle that rolled a 5 down to a 1.
Yeah.
Which would feel pretty bad. So Shelby, remembering to get his additional resource for Lando Calrissian, he was playing a Lando Mon Mothma deck the other night, and at the end of the game, his opponent was like, "Yeah, you forgot your extra resource," and he was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" Because it was just a casual game. And
yeah.
But all right, so Maz's goggles comes down on that's Lando, but he has the dice mixed up.
What do you think of his decision to split shields? I think I would have just put both of them on Hera.
Splitting shields was something I would always do in Awakenings when I was against the villain blue, because Intimidate saw a lot of play.
True.
And Vincent's just reminding Shelby that his dice were on the wrong character cards.
Lightsaber throw.
So Vincent pushing the damage already. It looks like Shelby didn't have the ability to mitigate. Is that a 2 damage or 3 damage on Vader's die?
That appears to be a 3. So he's going to get 5 effective damage round 1 minimum.
Man, that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So Shelby rolling, it gets a pretty good roll with 2 focus on the Maz's goggles, 1 gun on Lando, and a resource on Lando. And I think Vincent's using his tokens to put damage on Shelby's characters.
Just getting a little salt in the wounds.
I'm gonna try that sometime.
Oh, don't do it. Such disrespect. Hera finally coming in.
Let's see what she gets. Not what you want to see. Gets a shield and a blank. You might actually want to take that shield this round.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need 2 specials, most likely. I didn't see what was in Shelby's hands, but the likelihood of him having 2 vehicles to pop down.
I mean, it would be nice if he had a quad jumper and another vehicle, but he has...
Looks like at least one event. One of the 3 cards in his hand is an event.
Oh, so he has Appraise, which is a 0-cost event similar to Logistics. You remove a die showing a resource, and then instead of gaining an additional resource, you get to play a support from your hand for 2 less.
Oh, so he gets Ghost out round 1?
Right.
Solid.
And he doesn't have to, spend the action resolving that resource.
And now he's going to end up taking that shield.
So Vincent coming out with a 4 strike. So this is a ton of damage. It's about to be... Hera's going to definitely die turn 2.
Yeah, well, she's about to get special, too. She's about to take an additional 3
that's
damage.
3 damage, so she's dead.
Yeah.
If she doesn't... Oh!
He's got the shield.
Shelby doesn't see it. He doesn't realize that Phasma's special.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait. Maybe...
He's using the focus? He's leaving... Yeah, he's using the 2 focus.
I don't think he realizes that Phasma's special is about to deal 3 damage.
Yeah, he doesn't see it. The damage potential from this deck is insane. I don't know what else he could have done about this. You know, a vehicle-heavy deck isn't going to run that much mitigation.
Yeah, I mean, if you had like pin down or flank or, but that's the thing about this two-character vehicle deck. And hair goes down. That's the thing about having 2 characters though for a vehicle deck is that flanks. I mean, it's still good because you can take all your actions rolling out your supports, but
yeah.
So I think this match is. I mean, it's already decided.
Oh,
This is turn 1.
Yeah.
And Vincent was able to deal 11 damage.
10.
No, because she had a shield at the beginning of the
yeah.
game.
Yeah, I mean, Shelby's just got a ghost out now to deal damage. He hasn't done anything with it yet. And he gets not what he wants to see. He gets the shield.
Shields, yeah. Especially if Vincent like draws into a vibro knife next round.
Yeah.
And Shelby's just saying, yeah, I need more health. I need to survive.
He needed to take that shield instead of using the focus to keep her alive. Just to get at least one more activation out of her. And something out of her dice. He does draw into the U-Wing, though.
Which would have been great if Pharaoh was still alive.
Right.
I mean, he didn't even get a special off once.
Nope. He is going to start with 3 resources, though. Maybe he gets that 3 for 1 and then draws into the... just 5 resources.
So Vincent plays Enrage, and Enrage you actually have to deal damage to a blue character, so he can't put that damage on Phasma. We'll see if Shelby reminds him.
I know you mentioned Intimidate. Do you think it's going to come back and see a lot more play? It kind of fell off in Spirit.
Yeah, I toyed with it a little bit in my Palpatine deck, just because Palpatine really hates shields.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're able to intimidate and then resolve, even if you're not resolving damage, you know, just getting that damage onto their characters is really helpful.
Yeah. And that's not what you want to see. Vincent lays down something worse than a vibro knife. Lays down Kylo's lightsaber.
Yeah, I'm surprised that. I guess the main reason Intimidate went away is because of vibro knife. Why remove their shields if you can just ignore them?
Yep.
So Vader coming in again gets 2 blanks and another 3 damage.
Vincent rolling hot dice.
Yeah,
Someone get those checked out.
So Shelby's playing.
That's one of the new events.
A new event. Deploy the squadron. So that lets him activate all of his supports at the same time. It's basically like squad tactics for supports.
And he does get damage out of them at least, so he will see something. Vader is so stacked already.
So Vincent's just going to go ahead and deal the damage.
I think that's the smart thing to do. I mean, if you're not running Intimidate, just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, an argument could be made to like re-roll the blanks first and try to get that Kylo special, or Kylo Saber special.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's only a 1 in 6.
Right.
So Vincent now playing Trust Your Instincts, and Vincent is playing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he did make the misplay with the Enrage, but
he's actually just discarding the Trust Your Instincts.
Oh no, he drew a card. He pulled one from his deck and put it in his hand.
The only thing that I probably would have done is just reroll just in case you get the +3 from the saber as well, so you get 33% chance of a die side you needed for the shields.
So it gets another 2 damage out of Vader dice.
Shelby just stacking resources, stacks on stacks.
Shelby deals 3 damage to Vader.
I totally forgot about Phasma. I didn't even realize
Yeah, she hadn't come in yet.
Yikes. Shelby's getting some decent amount of damage out with those supports, though.
That is true. And, you know, keep in mind, he could still draw into a second chance. And keep Lando around for longer. He claims, let's see if he wants to play anything. I don't think he had any upgrades in his hand.
I think it was just the U-Wing in another event.
I think
Vincent was just confused about why he put it above his character.
Oh, okay.
4 resources, 1 short. Hopefully he gets 1
short for the U-Wing.
Yeah.
And he drew into a planned explosion, a field medic, which is good.
Very good.
Partnership. Partnership would be pretty good to do with that Y-Wing right now. If he's able to hit the special and put the pressure on Vincent's resources right away.
At this point, though, I don't think that Vincent's going to be really worried about the resources because he's already got the Kylo Saber down.
Sure, but if... yeah, I guess he can override the Kylo Saber with the Riot Baton right before Vader dies, or a lightsaber to redeploy over to Phasma.
Shelby does get the resources to play the U-Wing flat out.
And he's choosing to roll in the Ghost instead of the Y-Wing.
Interesting. If you're setting up for the U-Wing play, I think you just take the resource. Unless you're afraid of the Vader disrupt, but...
So he's deciding whether he wants to take an additional action or not. And he is going to. And he's going to take... So he spent a resource to immediately gain 3.
I believe the Ghost is a 2-resource side.
Oh, okay, to gain 4. And I don't know, I think he probably could have played that turn a little slower.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if I would have used that resource side on the Ghost. I think I would have kept it to try to get some damage out of it.
Yeah, I think I probably would have as well. But maybe Shelby feels safe with that field medic in hand. But
probably so.
I don't know. He has just Vader rolling in with those upgrade dice has a potential for 12 damage.
Yeah.
So he wanted to play the U-Wing. But even then, I don't know that there's a reason to spend that extra resource for the partnership play.
I don't think so. I think you probably just end up keeping it and try to get that Ghost to give you something. Because between Ghost and U-Wing, you could almost kill Vader this round, which you need to try to do. You know, if you go into next round...
So, this is something that I like to do as a Vader player that Vincent's doing, is when I activate Vader, I ask my opponent to discard, and then I just shake my dice until they discard a card, so that they don't get to see what I roll before they make their decision.
That's smart. But as part of... On the other player's side, don't they have the option to wait?
Yeah, and I mean, like, if my opponent asks me, like, I'll roll, but...
Yeah.
I don't like my opponent. It's just one of those like mind game things that you can, like, your opponent might discard something and then you roll out and they're like, oh man, I should have kept that and discarded something else. You know, like sometimes it influences their decision. Sometimes you know it's they discard a deflect and
yeah, and it doesn't really matter at that point.
But you know, sometimes they have 5 good cards in their hand and.
Oof.
So Vincent re-rolling to more blanks. Double blanks and +3 on the Kylo Saber. Shield on Vader.
Shelby getting a little lucky there. All those blanks coming back.
Yeah, Vincent, he's probably forgotten about Phasma as well, because Phasma does have the opportunity for focus. Oh, he probably wanted the leadership this round, which probably would have been enough to finish off Lando.
Yeah, he had both of them in his hand and discarded to reroll with one of them.
So Vincent's going to roll in Phasma first, see what he gets. Gets a 2 damage. Nice.
Shelby just pointing out they don't stack.
And Vincent's probably like, I know, Shelby. I played this game before.
This isn't my first rodeo.
Y-Wing coming in, gets a blank.
Ooh, discards the Force Illusion. I don't know about that.
I mean, he could finish off Lando right here. It's probably what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And he got some damage, so that's going to be 8 total, I believe.
No, it's, Oh, wow, yeah, it is. +3, 3, and then 2.
And is Shelby rolling the wrong die for the U-Wing? It looks like he's rolling an airspeeder die. Yeah, it's a gray die. He's rolling the airspeeder die.
Oh, wow. Let me go correct that real quick.
Yeah, we're going to go get that corrected real quick. Yeah, I don't know how much impact that would have had on the game, just since it seems like Shelby's so far behind. But I mean, the U-wing does have the potential for way more damage than the airspeeder. It's got 4 damage sides effectively.
Yeah. So he's gonna end up doing 2 damage to both characters.
Or is he gonna take the shields?
At this point, I think you push damage. With Lando sitting on 3, I mean, I don't think that you can afford to sit there and take shields. I think you need to get 2 damage.
And then somehow get 5 next turn.
Yeah, that plays back into the ghost though. You know, you needed that ghost to deal damage this round.
Right. But Shelby was able to play a lot of cards this round. He's able to play that field medic, the U-wing. And did he play anything else?
He did play one other event, I believe. I just don't recall what it was.
Because I know he had 2 resources left after playing that U-wing.
Right.
So,
oh yeah, he played the event that lets him draw up to more resources.
Okay. So Shelby really needed to see a second chance this round. Because even Phasma has a 33% chance of killing Lando just with her dice. So the good thing is that Shelby claimed, so he's going to get an opportunity to roll, but he decides to roll Lando instead of one of his supports in. I mean, none of his supports have the potential to finish off Vader in one swing, so...
But still, I mean, with the vehicles playing so slow, you have to get those out first.
Right. You need to kill Vader before he kills you, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
So... Vincent decides to throw down the holocron and puts it on Vader.
I don't know about that. I think you just go ahead and put that on Phasma at this stage.
Yeah, I think so too. Unless... I don't know if he's running Price of Failure, and maybe he's thinking that he'll need it if Shelby gets a second chance, but...
Maybe so.
I mean, even if Shelby got a second chance...
It's not looking good.
No, not at all.
Shelby gave us a little bit of false hope with all of the supports coming down.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, what, 12 resources worth of supports on the table that he hardcasted. They weren't even Hera specials.
Yeah.
They weren't even quad jumpered in.
Yep.
So, I mean, really showing us that Lando is a money-making machine.
Yeah.
So there's definitely probably a build out there where Lando is used very effectively.
I think it's got to be a triple character deck, though. I think it would be a single die Lando.
Single dice?
Mm-hmm. Just because 16 for him restricts you to only 2 characters. I just don't think you're going to see success at Lando at 16.
Even with Harry, you don't think this, or a Lando Padme mill deck, maybe?
No, I don't think so. I mean, mill, maybe, but when you're talking about vehicle-wise, it's not enough.
Right. So Vincent rolls in with Vader. Shelby decides to discard...
He gets the fatal.
Yeah, he discards the supply line. So he gets the damage he needs. With the Kylo Saber. Let's see if Shelby has an answer. He has a pin down in his hand, so he can remove that base damage.
And not just the Kylo Saber, but he's got the Electro Staff on it, so he didn't even have to pay for it.
Electro Staff only affects your character dice that have resource.
Oh, okay. Good catch.
Phasma gets the special, and unless Shelby can do anything about it, he's got a field medic.
I think that's the only play he's got.
So that'll save him.
He's making Vincent work for it. Give him that.
I mean, Vincent hasn't rolled great these last couple rounds.
Not at all.
Like he had to discard a couple times, or yeah, at least twice to get that 8 damage that he put on.
Mm-hmm. Not sure what they're discussing here.
Looks like they're talking about the Y-Wing special. Maybe Shelby's explaining to Vincent what it does. I don't remember him even rolling the Y-Wing in this round. Maybe he did. So Shelby's just explaining that to Vincent how the Y-Wing special works, that he loses resources and deals damage to his characters to a total of 4. And he's just going to put that 4 right on Phasma.
That Y-Wing special is deceptively good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good in a Pomaz deck, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Pomaz's biggest problem was Rainbow Nines, and for Rainbow Nines to get hit with that, I mean, they can spread the damage. But if they already got thermaled once, and the Pomaz player has a Planetary Uprising down, they might want to lose those resources to save them till next turn and try to go off then. But those resources are so precious in a Rainbow Nines deck.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's one of the best things that you can roll in Nines is just resources.
So Vincent re-rolling, and that should be game. I don't think Shelby has anything in his hand to stop it.
Yeah, Vader's just too strong.
And there's the GG. So Vader Phasma dealing 11 damage turn 1.
That's sick.
That was absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I played against the Spirit of Rebellion Vader with the new Phasma from the 2-player set a few days ago, and that dealt 12 damage to me turn 1. But
right,
man, there's so much damage being pushed now.
Oh yeah.
It's absurd, and maybe that was the problem with Shelby's deck, is that he didn't have enough removal. I didn't see an electroshock. I didn't see. Yeah, we saw the 1 pin down, and I think that's the only die that he removed the entire game.
Yeah.
No Loth Cat and Mouse.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's really unfortunate right now is Hero Red removal specifically is just in a really bad place.
Except for Honor Guard. Honor Guard's pretty good.
Yeah. It was a really interesting Vader build. It was kind of a mix of the Holocron, and then I saw the lightsaber spike come down.
Yeah, he had the Holocrons, but then he had a bunch of melee weapons. I don't think I even saw Force Power. I don't think he even discarded one.
I didn't see one.
Maybe it's to draw removal away from your Vader dice.
I was just about to say maybe it's a bait. I know a lot of players like to play that mind game.
Yeah, I don't know that I would ever put Holocron in my deck though with no Force Powers.
Yeah.
Because that makes it essentially have 3 blanks.
Yeah, that's true. It's most likely just a 4-card Holocron suite. Big hitters, probably Mind Probe.
Right.
And
Force Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Force Throw. Maybe they were just everything was probably in the bottom of his deck.
I think Force Throw will see a lot of play in Empire just because of how slow things are getting again.
Yeah, and how big the sides are on dice. Throwing an Ion Disruptor Rifle.
I was just about
throwing
to bring that
up. What's the Ion Cannon?
The
LR, the other big one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, not Ion Cannon. It's just a cannon.
Yeah.
Sonic Cannon. That's what it is.
6 damage.
Yeah,
force throwing.
Force throwing that would feel pretty good. Force throwing a Lando die for 3 damage. I mean, yeah, I was really surprised that Force Throw went away as much as it did. I didn't have it in my Palpatine build originally, but I put it back in there, and it does a ton of work.
Oh yeah, well it's such a big threat when it comes on the table and rolls special too.
Yeah, everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's too slow." People are resolving their damage too fast. Not really.
Yeah.
You can still, and you can force throw other stuff besides damage too, but.
I mean, you can even force throw your own dice. I know a lot of people don't like to do it, but it's still there. If you don't want that resource, just go ahead and get a damage out of it.
Right. All right, so we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back to you all with round 2, and we'll see who we have then.